Hello, I'm Lynn Sharber, and I'm a student in Brian Clark's UNV501 class. We are learning about professional dispositions in the Grand Canyon University's College of Education. I read the document with a lot of interest and reflection. One of the dispositions I possess that makes me a successful teacher is having high expectations for my students. I use both formal and informal assessments to determine the needs of my first graders. Sometimes my whole class or Tier 1 instruction will change midstream in the middle of a lesson. If I notice my students need more information, we'll review. If I notice that they're catching on quickly, then I can switch and give them more challenging aspects of the lesson. So as in all classrooms, there are a multitude of learning levels in here, and all the students have different strengths and weaknesses. I use small groups or Tier 2 instruction to really drill down to get those skills that each student needs. My small groups can change weekly depending on what the students need that week. While my expectations for student output can vary from student to student, they're all encouraged to perform to the best of their ability, depending on the needs of each student. I have one student who came in to first grade already knowing how to decode pretty easily, so he could read fairly easily. So we've worked on multisyllabic words, and then I noticed he doesn't have comprehension skills. He can read, but he doesn't understand what he's reading. So we've worked on vocabulary and comprehension and predicting outcomes. So that's what he's doing. Now, his expectations are different from another student I had who came into first grade not knowing his alphabet or what sounds the letters made. So, his expectations are different now. Now he is learning to blend the sounds that he has learned this year together to form words. So while they have two totally different expectations on their output, they are both expected to do their best work every day. I also enjoyed reading the section of the professional dispositions about respecting the diversity of others. One of the points made in that section was to set clear expectations around respect for others. And one fun way I like to reward students in my classroom is by having this class fish. And one student gets to keep the fish on their desk every day. And they are chosen by if I notice somebody really being respectful and kind to their peers the day before, then they get to keep the fish on their desk the next day and take care of it. And they get to give a little report to the class at the end of the day. And it really encourages them to be respectful of others. Something on my heart as I read the document is that I can improve upon is reflection. After years of doing the same thing, day after day, unit after unit, sometimes I don't think about my job as reflectively as I once did, and I just put everything into motion. Like, I know which activities we're doing on Monday. I know what we're doing on Tuesday. I know what we're doing on Wednesday. I know when we get to our controlled vowels and we do AR that we're going to make sharks. So, I just don't think about it as much anymore. And so I need to really be more reflective on my practice and continue to improve. When I first started working at this school, we had more of a culture of collaboration, and we'd hold each other to high standards, and we'd give each other ideas. And with a lot of staff changes over the years, that has change. So I have decided that I want to be a leader in bringing back those types of conversations because it benefits the students in the long run. Professional educators need to look professional. My school is an arts integrated school, so we do a lot of gluing and painting and glitter and all sorts of messy fun. So professional dress here means something that looks nice, but you can throw it in the laundry and get paint out of it easily. Teaching is not an easy career, but I think most quality teachers find it easy to love either their students or their subject matter. We need to act in the best interest of our students at all times, not just when we are on campus. Professional educators really need to keep all the dispositions in mind and at the forefront of their thoughts. I've printed out the document and I'm going to post it near my teacher table as a reminder of the high standard for which I should strive. On the checklist of dispositions in the first part of this assignment, I couldn't pick one with which I did not just really strongly agree. So I put strongly agree for all of them because I think they're all important. And also I was thinking about how well they align with the model code of ethics for educators that we learned about earlier this week. All right, thank you. Goodbye.